Intermediate guitarists. In this video, I'm going to explain 3 reasons why you might not be making as much progress with your lead playing as you'd like. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about a special gift I made for you that's going to set your progress on fire. If you're new here, my name is Ross Campbell. I'm a working musician from Scotland, now living in Nashville, Tennessee. I spent 5 years trapped in my own intermediate guitar plateau before I broke free, and for the past 6 years of my life, I've been teaching intermediate guitar players around the world to do the same. So the first reason why you're not making progress with your lead playing is probably the first thing you do when you pick up the guitar each day. You pick it up with the intention of doing some practice, learning something new, but you immediately start noodling the same licks you've played for years, and before you know it, the half hour you intended on spending practicing has flown by without you learning anything new. Some obvious caveats before I continue. Noodling is great for getting warmed up, and if you write music, then it's also good for exploring new ideas. But if your goal is to become a more confident improviser and find new soloing ideas, well, playing the same licks you've played for the past 10 years isn't going to help. This is one of the reasons why I remained stuck in my intermediate rut for 5 years. I got complacent and comfortable with always playing what was familiar to me. And whenever I get too comfortable in any area of my life, be it music, social life, working out, I like to remind myself that growth is at the edge of the comfort zone. So you might want to try to limit the comfortable noodling to 5 minutes or so just to get warmed up and have a bit of fun. And then spend the next 25 minutes learning one new thing on the guitar that challenges you. Find something that you suck at, and instead of viewing the challenge as a negative, reframe it as, this is a challenge, which means there's something to overcome, and if I'm successful, then I will grow as a player. Now, you have to be somewhat reasonable with your expectations. If you just started learning alternate picking, don't immediately try playing technical difficulties at full tempo. A more reasonable example might be if you like playing over backing tracks, but you struggle to play melodies that highlight the chord changes, then you might want to spend some time studying lessons that explain how to move away from scale patterns and start using other improvisational tools that allow you to more effectively target the money notes of the chords in your solos. If you can aim to decrease the amount of comfort in your practice sessions and increase the discomfort, well, in as little as a few weeks' time, you'll be feeling more motivated than ever to chase progress as a guitarist. Reason number 2 why your lead playing hasn't improved much. You're not transcribing your favorite players. I want you to write down a list of your current top 10 guitar players. I'm gonna do it now myself. Slash, John Mayer, Derek Trucks, Guthrie Govan, Joe Bonamassa, Matt Schofield, Jack Roosh, Guthrie Trapp, Josh Smith, and Matthias Zato as well. All of these players are ones whose solos I have spent time learning note for note. Not so that I can play them on stage and pass them off as my own. The reason I do this is I think it's the quickest and most logical way to go about absorbing some of what you like about another guitarist's playing style. Do this with enough players on a consistent basis, and I promise you, you won't sound like a cheap copy of any of them. All of those influences will blend together and distill down into your own unique sound. It takes years, but the years will pass you by anyway, so you might as well make a start with this in your practice. And the third and final reason why your lead playing progress has come to a halt is you're always practicing improvisation and not composition. With lead guitar playing lessons, so much emphasis is put on the practice of improvisation. Now, don't get me wrong, I love improvisation and I love teaching it to others, but I do think that practicing the art of composing a guitar solo is seriously underrated. Last year, I got asked to take part in Paul David's 2023 solo collaboration video, and before I recorded a single take, I sat down with the track and spent 2 hours writing the solo that made it to the video. And yes, of course I had to improvise in a way to come up with that solo, but the process of composing a full solo versus improvising is different. With improvisation, you're practicing maintaining a consistent flow of ideas in one go over the entire solo section. When composing a solo, I like to improvise a few ideas over each bar one at a time. I'll loop the same bar or two over and over again until I find something that I like. Once I have some cool ideas for each part, I'll then try to solve the puzzle that is connecting those ideas into one cohesive solo, which I find to be a really fun creative challenge, and I can honestly say it has made me a better improviser too. Composition and improvisation really are inseparable. The more you practice improv, the more that feeds into your compositional skills and vice versa. So let's go over everything once again. 1. Stop noodling so much and instead try to add more discomfort into your practice sessions by finding new challenges and tackling them head on. Why? Because the growth you are looking for can be found at the edge of your comfort zone. 2. Transcribe solos from your favorite players. If you do this consistently with enough players and enough time, you're not going to sound like a cheap copy. You will absorb some of their magic and it will all eventually blend together into something people will recognize as your own unique sound. And 3, if you only ever spend time practicing improvisation, try your hand at composition as well. It's a fun, creative exercise that will improve both your improv and compositional skills. With all that said, I have a gift for those of you who have made it to this point in the video that's going to help you make a ton of progress with your lead playing. I am currently offering free lifetime access to my new intermediate soloing course, Melodic Soloing with Triads. It's linked in the description and it teaches you how to ditch your stale repetitive licks and start playing solos that ooze melody and feel. And it is perfect for the type of intermediate guitarist who has been stuck in a soloing rut for years and is just tired of making no progress. Which, if you've made it to this point in the video, is probably the situation you're in right now. It's 2.5 hours of video lessons with 3 downloadable ebooks plus Guitar Pro and PDF tab files, so I would act fast and grab it now before I start charging for it. Once you've gone through the lessons, I'd love it if you could come back to this video and leave a review in the comment section.